Thank you for the bear. Okay, it's not starting yet.
I was only getting in for the box. Hey, look, I'm over here. See me in the corner?
Yeah.
It's a good place for me inside the monitor, right?
The fuck?
Let me out of here.
Respectfully, sweet lady, what's up? Real original Jiffy cornbread. Hello.
No, I got in to do the intro, but has Lumpy in here yet?
No, Lumpy's not here yet. We're not doing the intro yet. We don't do it till like 8:04, 8:05. You know the drill.
I know, but I'll message him just in case.
Well, Jiffy's here, so he's gonna be here.
I like cornbread.
I love me some cornbread.
Only if it's edible cornbread.
I'm
No
dead.
pun intended.
I'm dead. Okay, get your video ready. LOL, he's coming. Get your video ready, sir. Let me know when we're recording. Just got off the phone with the doctor. I hope she's okay. Good evening, good sir. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you guys pulling up. Welcome to Streaming 101. I'm the host, Real Deal. We do this every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please make sure that you favorite my admins, favorite my guests that you'll see in the box today. Today we've got a good show lined up. We're going to be talking about streamer etiquette, and man, does that fall into pretty much every single category of this app. So I'm really looking forward to it. We've got Lumpy getting in there, and we've also got Emoji J, one of my admins. Please make sure you favorite both of them. Also, Beard Raider should be along at some point. Masterpiece, if you're still in the cut, please throw your name out there so people can see you. Well, that's what we're here to talk about today, Grass. We're here to talk about how our streamer etiquettes are, you know, the different things and different perspectives. So I'm really looking forward to it. Emoji, whenever you're ready, my friend, you can hop back in. We'll get it all popping here.
Welcome to the show. It's Streaming 101, where the tips are hot and we're having fun. I'm your host, Real Deal, here to keep it lit, dropping all the streaming tips, bit by bit. Streaming tips, streaming tricks, level up your game, get those clicks, build your brand, find your flow. Streaming 101, let's go, let's go. Keep your mic clean, set the right scene, engage with your chat, keep it evergreen. From overlays to vibes and your niche so tight, let your passion shine, bring the hype tonight. Streaming tips, streaming tricks, level up your game, get those clicks, build your brand, find your flow. Streaming 101, let's go, let's go. Clean, set the right scene, engage with your chat, keep it evergreen. From overlays to vibes and your niche so tight, let your passion shine, bring the hype tonight. Streaming tips, streaming tricks, level up your game, get those your brand, find your flow. Streaming 101, let's go, let's go.
No, see, he did it. I was gonna say, Jay, normally you just jump right out of the box and head back into the cut there, man, but you're gonna be. We'll guess you up first. So you should have just you should have just stayed in the box, good sir. Should have just stayed in the box. But that's all good. He's gonna come back today. Like streamer etiquette is something I think that we all touch on, and we all touch on it on a regular basis. We
I
all
do it
we
out
all
of
talk
habit.
about it. Yeah, like it's something that comes up in casual conversation on here. How people act, how they talk, all that kind of stuff. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about streamer etiquette just for myself. You know what I mean? And my stream, but also through other people's streams and watching them and how they interact with people. Jay's been here since 1953 or something,
Yep.
so
Yeah, something like that.
he's definitely seen all of it. And
Um,
I think that the streamer etiquette definitely has changed over the years, right? As they've kind of integrated new things onto the platform and new, other platforms into the platform. Streamer etiquette definitely changes as time goes on.
yeah, streaming etiquette definitely changed, especially when battles were introduced to the app, for sure. That was a big move, a big step that they did to bring battles to the app. And I mean, it was a good thing that they did, but then it also changed a lot of people's attitudes as well.
How does it like how in your opinion, how do you think that streamer etiquette can affect somebody's stream and like the outcome of the stream?
People are going to see how you're acting, right? So people are going to see when you come into your live, people are going to see how you're acting in your live, and they're going to reflect off of how you're acting.
Big
Also,
facts.
that also determines on how someone's going to gift you in your life, right? Too. So people seeing you like negative all the time or whatever, or new people, even people that are returning, that they might, if they see you, upset or pissed off or angry, they're not going to want to, you know, maybe
Yeah, it's
gift
not an
you.
attractive. It's not an attract. Never mind gift. Never mind gift. It's not an attractive feature for viewers to come in and see a negative tone, see a negative
Yep.
atmosphere. People don't want that. Some
Yeah,
people do.
absolutely.
Well, I shouldn't say everybody, because some people do want that. Some people do want that type of atmosphere, but it's the people that do want it definitely do not outweigh the people that don't.
Yeah, we're
Or
not going to name any names here.
no,
We're not going to.
no, we're not. No, we're not. But you know what I'm saying, man. Like I just feel like having some good etiquette, it doesn't just show it doesn't show that people of the you know how to run a stream and all that, but I feel like it shows the character of the human as well,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
I don't know. I was brought up with manners and just like a common respect towards other humans. So that
exactly.
definitely that's turned over here on streaming for me. It definitely
It's manners. It's definitely manners, right?
yeah.
Um, it's even how people treat women. I know probably you shouldn't touch this, but it's even how people treat women on here. Um, it's stream etiquette. People are, why don't you talk to me, or why don't you want to talk to me? Well, look at the way you're treating the woman. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that. Like, if you're gonna come at someone rude and negative, of course they're not gonna want to talk to you. They're gonna probably kick you out of their stream.
Big facts. Big facts. What would you say are some of the do's and some of the don'ts when you're entering into a stream? Well, we're talking about
Um,
streamer etiquette, right? So
don't
what would
talk
you
about how many. Oh, sorry. I thought you were
No, I was just
paused.
gonna say,
But
what are your thoughts on, kind of some things that people should do and maybe like,
the biggest pet peeve of mine is when somebody comes in and says, "Oh, what a big diamond count you have," or whatever, right?
that's happened to me
Um,
so much.
it's like, all right, so what do you expect me to do about that, or what do you want me to say about it? You know what I mean? Or hey,
I usually just say thank you and then try to move on
right,
personally.
or they'll sit there and say, I've actually had people say, "Okay, can you give me?" Like, no, I don't know you. Why would I gift you? You know what I mean?
That
Type of
part.
thing. It's like it's strange. I don't know. Don't come off a hole in a live when you first go into a live. That can also trigger the person that you're trying to watch turn into a hole as well. Um, or come back negatively, and then you're gonna just sit there and see that the streamer's being negative, right? And it's like, all right, well, you cause an effect, right? You cause them to be this way by coming into their stream and being negative. So you can't really expect them to not be negative if you're giving off a negative persona. And then that's when it comes to, people recording streams and they're going on streamers, whatever, uh, IG page and stuff like that.
Yep. And you see a lot of those negative interactions on those TMZ pages.
Correct. Yep.
I find that a lot of those guys, that's the type of footage that they focal point for. They want to find the crash out scenes on here. They want
Some of
people
the,
to go ahead.
I was gonna say I was gonna go to the positives. Some of the dudes, ask questions if you have questions about the person or the person's life and what they do. It's always a good thing to do. Always
Yeah,
try to, interact with the streamer. Try to, like, if they have, if you want to get to know them off the app, see if they have ways of communication, because a lot of streamers like to communicate off the app too. Some don't, but a lot do.
yeah,
Always see what kind of stuff that they got going on. Events, auctions, battles, whatnot. Um, they always like to have people, and especially new people, come and support them as well.
yeah, 100%. As a streamer,
Um,
when I see somebody new come in and they talk for a few minutes and then they start throwing gifts and stuff, yeah, like that's kind of the point, right? Like they obviously like what they're seeing and now they're gifting because of that. So like that's
right.
kind of that's
Yeah.
kind of like the backwards point other than making connections on here, right? Is
Right. Exactly.
making those connections with that, entertain people and keep people in the mix.
Exactly. If you have a talent, here's another thing. If you have a talent, let the streamer know, because they might be able to hook you up into the right direction that other people can use your talent. Artists or singing, even music, whatever. Because
And like as far as that kind of stuff, there are people all around this app that you can find, anybody that's been on here for a little while, like myself, Moji J, we've been on here for a little bit, right? So like we definitely know where those talent scouts are and the shows that are focused on that kind of stuff. And that's where you network with your friends and network with the people that you know. And
exactly,
yep.
exactly. I don't know about anymore dudes. Just try to be there for a streamer. Sometimes they might be having a bad day. See if they need someone to talk to. That's always a big thing. I think that's
That
something
part.
that I like to do.
That part.
Um, I don't know what else for the dudes part.
Yeah, like I don't know, when I'm entering into a stream and it's a new stream, I kind of like to take a minute. I don't just automatically start talking. I just kind of check the surroundings out. Maybe I might hop on a board for a second, take a look at the board and see, if there's anybody that's come through here that I know. And I'll watch how the streamer acts as well.
Yeah, sometimes people like to come invisible and so that they don't see on a board. Although for me, I always check my board viewer list to see who's come in,
Yeah, me
even
too.
though
Me too.
because I know a lot of people like to turn on their VIP so that people can't see them.
Like I
But
think what we're just talking about going into streams and stuff and streamer etiquette. This is our topic tonight. So I think that this is kind of touches into that. When I go into a stream and I see somebody, or I'm sorry, actually, I don't see the person because their camera is pointed at the ceiling above, or they've got it on a black screen, or they've got music blasted or something like that. I'm leaving.
Right. Yep. Me too.
Chances are I'm probably not going back.
Right. I mean, granted, I obviously I'm a, but I'm everybody knows that I'm a black screen person. I always
But you
play music.
interact, but
Right.
you interact. That's a little bit different.
Correct. Yeah. No, I agree 100% though. There was one time I was browsing lives. It was even the For You and even some of my favorites. And one after another, it was ceiling fan, ceiling fan, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Yep. Yeah. So just a little tidbit, man. As you can see, like, I like to, people that know me know that I like to gift. I like to go around and go to different streams and stuff like that. As a gifter on this app, I consider it a big no-no to be stealing streaming and to be, having music absolutely blasted so nobody can hear anything. I can't hear myself think. I think that's very, very poor streamer etiquette. And when you turn this on. If there's an unforeseen circumstance, whatever, you got to go to the bathroom, whatever, But like other than that, man, when you turn your stream on, you turn that on. There's people that are going to come in and expect to see you.
Yeah, that's why I did this as a joke. But yeah,
Oh man.
that's why I did that. Ah, sorry, my bad. There we go. That's why I did that. That's why I did that as a joke because I'm like, yeah, everybody else is gonna have ceiling fans. There's been times where I've been in box parties and everybody's like pointing their camera up at the ceiling fan. I'm just like, oh, hey, I need a ceiling fan too.
I don't know. I just don't vibe with it. I don't vibe with it, and I know for a fact. Let's get a one in the chat real quick. If you go into a stream and you see a ceiling fan, are you leaving? One for yes, two for no. I guarantee we're gonna head out. Like I'm not staying there.
Yeah, there's
I'm
no
just not.
point. I mean, once in a while, if I know the person and they're pointing up, whatever, I know they're going to be busy doing something. They'll be back eventually, but majority of the time, yeah, I'm gonna leave the live.
That part. Real quick, guys. Welcome to Streaming 101. I'm your host, Real Deal. Every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight we're talking about streamer etiquette. I got my first guest in here, Emoji J. Please make sure you favorite him. Lumbie will be coming in after a little bit later on tonight. Um, and yeah, this is a hot topic. I think etiquette gets thrown under the carpet in real life. Away from streaming. So, coming into a place like this where there's hostility and there's negativity and there's all kinds of stuff like that, etiquette can go right out the window. It's something that cannot even be looked at.
Exactly. People come to the app. People don't realize people come to the app to escape reality. If you're doing the same thing that you do in real life that's negative, they're going to see that on here and be like, it might turn them away of not to wanting to be on the app anymore too. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Some people just don't like that type of atmosphere. I'm one of those people. I don't like that. I'm not about all the negativity and like when if one of my friends is having a problem in their day, absolutely 100% I want to be there for them.
Right.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. But if every single day, over and over and over for months and months and months, all I'm seeing is negative, 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 I'm going to start to question it after a while.
Yep.
And
I do the same.
it's probably going to be something that it's probably going to be something that's going to deter me from being around those people.
Yep. That I see that happening a lot too on the app.
Positivity is number one on here. It really is.
There is one time, I'm not going to say any names. There's one time I would, I went into live, saw the girl. There's a girl that was crying. She was constantly crying, and I was like, "What's wrong? What's going on?"
We're doing a show right now on Story Buddy.
And it's like, do you need somebody to talk to? And then I came in again, and she was crying, and I found out that she was a serial crier, right? Like she was the type of person that just cried and cried and cried just to get people's attention.
Oh.
So yeah, one of those. So
No,
You
thank
got
you.
to be careful also, like if you see, people, sometimes they do it for attention, is what I'm saying. Sometimes, sometimes it's genuine, sometimes they do it for attention. Just got to be careful of who you interact with.
That part. Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. I had Masterpiece on a few weeks ago. We were talking about, just people and interactions and, just kind of scoping out before we're heavily gifting people because, we don't want to have regrets later on down the road from crappy situations that might occur with people, right?
Yeah, I've had that happen before.
I think that's just proper etiquette to yourself.
Right.
That's just looking out for you, right? You scope out people and just kind of never jump in head first. And
Right.
I've been a product of that. I've been a product of doing that, of jumping in and you know, dropping a whole bunch, and then two
That's why I
weeks
always
late,
get
and then
small. I get
two
small.
weeks later, I realize, oh wait, this guy's not the person that I thought he was, or this female is not who I thought they were, and like I'm not going back in there anymore. So there's
Yeah,
500K down the toilet.
that's why I always get small first. You going into streams and seeing how people are, seeing how people react to
I
you.
definitely
Even
I reverse osmosis to that for a little bit. I'd go in and go big and then be like, ah, what did I do that for?
yeah, well, I can't afford doing that, but I get you, man. It does happen.
Yeah. Etiquette falls all in all aspects of this app. Let's talk a little bit about Daybox etiquette because I think that that's something that is a hot topic for a lot of people.
Yeah, I regarding your comment, yeah, I hate that. There was one time I went into a friend's live and I gifted her a five or whatever. I mean, it wasn't stupid. It was a five. But then the guy in her box was like, "Oh, you're not going to gift me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to gift you. I don't know who you are. I've never seen you in my life. Why would I gift you?"
That is
Like,
poor etiquette, though, right there. That is poor etiquette. Right? There's, it's poor etiquette for you to go up to somebody and say, "Hey, are you going to gift me?" And then if they
right?
gift you, are you going to say? And then you say, "Oh, is that it? That's all you're getting? That's all you're giving me?"
People do that
Would,
too.
would you
Yeah,
do that in real? Would you do that in real life?
yeah, no, absolutely not.
Chances are probably not. Probably not, right? So why is it
Yeah,
okay to come here and do it here? It's not okay to act this way. That's a huge pet peeve for me. If somebody questions the amount that I've gifted them, I'll never drop another diamond on them again.
right.
Never.
That's why when
I
people
like there's been
say,
friendships that have ended because of that.
"Oh yeah," and that's why I say people who have VIPs, if it's an issue, and people, because I know people who go to VIPs and say, "Hey, you're VIP." It's happened to me when I've been VIP before. "Hey, you're VIP. Come drop on me," and I'm like, sorry. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't know,
I
man. I
don't
don't I don't deal well. I don't deal well with people telling me how to spend my money.
exactly,
That's my money. I earn my money. And I'm
exactly.
I'm
It's
not
wild.
nobody is telling me. Nobody. Not a single
Like, you're
force
not
on
gonna
this
go
planet.
ask somebody to gift them in real life either, right? Like, that
No,
doesn't happen.
I would never do that. And I don't think like people that are in here, I don't think that that's something that would happen for any of them either. So it's it's a real piss off too because it puts a scrutiny. It almost puts like a stereotype on the app, and then people come to expect that type of behavior and they act differently because of it.
Right. Yep.
And like that, that's why I try really, really hard, man. Like I like where I'm at right now in life. Okay. I like where my personality is. I'm constantly learning every day. Intelligence. I'm active, I'm physically fit, all kinds of different stuff. I'm happy where I'm at. And that turns over. It turns over here. It turns over on how I conduct myself on the app and how people see me and the etiquette that I have because I have etiquette in my day-to-day life. So because I
Yeah.
carry that, I carry that. It carries over onto here. If I ever go
Yeah, it
into
goes
a
back.
box, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say it goes back to the same thing that I said earlier. If somebody is being negative, in real life, it's going to carry on, to their online life, and people are going to think that if you're negative online, people are going to automatically assume that you're negative in real life too. You know what I
That
mean?
part. That part. Big facts. Going into a date box for the first time.
Uh,
Let's talk about etiquette first for a first time entry into a date box. Give me some do's and some don'ts.
don't. Let's see. Don't
Let's
show your pecker in the date box. Nobody wants to see it. How about that? Let's start off with that. No matter how much you want to do it, this is not the app for that. There's other apps for that.
My
Um,
good God, man. My good guy. And like, fellas, I don't know why. I'm gonna touch on that real quick. Fellas, I don't know why you're seeing the need to go into other fellas' date boxes and, show your bamboo stick, but we don't want to see that here.
exactly.
We don't want none of that, man. That is poor streamer etiquette. Poor streamer etiquette. It's not even just shit, it's poor viewer etiquette as well. You're in somebody
Yeah,
else's space. You're in somebody else's space, right? That's like going
exactly.
in,
And
that's like going to one of your friends' houses and man, getting in. You walk in the door, man. You take your shoes off, hang your coat
yeah,
up,
I
man.
know.
You guys go into
Drop
the
your
living
pants.
room, and then you just drop your
Yeah,
pants. Yep,
right.
yeah, yeah. And just
I'm
start doing a
dead.
helicopter spin. Like
Another
nobody's
thing,
doing that.
right?
Nobody's doing that. So don't do it
Another,
on here.
another another thing. This is the biggest thing, right? People think that the date box means that they're going to get a date with them in real life or whatever, or B, that means that they automatically want them. Like the person, if it's a female, the guys will go into the box and say, "Hey, you're dating me. Does that mean you want to get to know me? Does that mean we're gonna be going out? Does that mean we're, dating in real life?" No, that does not mean you're dating in real life. Get over it. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. There's been a few times, man. There's been a few times where that's happened. I think that the conception of the app is it's a dating app, right? They integrated streaming into said dating app.
Other way around.
Oh, dating was integrated into the
Correct.
streaming.
Correct. Because of Plenty of Fish, and when Plenty of Fish wanted, Mimi wanted to have Plenty of Fish come into them and, not merge, but be partnership with them, they had to have some sort of dating aspect to the site because it was literally just one-on-one conversation. There was no dating
Oh, okay.
aspect
So
to the site.
that's when they brought in that's when they
Correct.
brought it in. Okay. That makes sense. Like there's a
Correct.
there's a dating side to the app and there's a streaming side to the app.
Yep.
Now,
100%.
obviously as interactions between human beings happen, things happen,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
And like
absolutely.
it's a natural course of life, man. So, like dating does happen over here. But
Yeah, dating
I
does
think
happen over here, but
the
people
kid
need to realize. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you finish your thing. People need to
I was just
realize
gonna say people need to realize that somebody's not just gonna, 2 states away, 3 states away. Somebody's not gonna just jump up and go, cross country to go see you. if it does, if it does happen, you guys need to plan it out. But that's another etiquette thing, is people think that, hey, somebody's into me. That means that they're gonna go all out of the way to come see me, or what, vice versa.
the date box is a way to interact with people. That's it.
Correct. Yep.
That's it. Bottom line. It helps your streamer out if people are pushing the fire button in the chat, that actually helps your streamer. And it helps their algorithm.
Hi,
So,
Val.
um, really, really quick here too, while we're at the brief intermission. Welcome to Streaming 101, guys. Every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Real Deal. Tonight we're talking about streamer etiquette. Please make sure that you're favoriting my guests. First up here, we got Emoji J. Everybody knows Emoji J, but if you don't, make sure you favorite him, man. And my next guest, Lumbee, who's coming in a few minutes here. Um, what do you think is probably when it comes to etiquette? What do you think is one of the most damning things you can do on here?
Um,
That's
but
just
as
gonna
in damage,
totally turn people right off you.
I think gifting's the biggest thing, right? Like, honestly, people asking for gifts right off the bat. I think that's
Oh, that's a huge turn off, man. Like if it's a new person in my stream, I kick them.
yeah,
Get out.
that's that's the biggest thing I think, and that's I've seen it happen a lot in a lot of lives, and then people wonder, why did they kick me or why did that person kick me? Well, if they're gifting the streamer, they're not going to want to gift you. You know what I mean? Don't ask them for gifts. I see it in the comments all the time, and that's a big turnoff for people. So
Absolutely. And what do you think? So we gone from, you know, what's one of the worst things you can do? What do you think? What's some really good stuff that we can do for people to, kind of show them some good etiquette in ourselves?
be genuine, I guess. I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? Be who you would be off of the app. Another thing that I see that people like to do is they're not themselves when they're on app. You meet them in real life, they're a completely different person.
Yep.
Um, just be yourself. People like it when you're yourself. That way they can relate to you. I'm the same person off app that I am on app.
Same. Absolutely, man. That's some really good advice. It really is. On one side of the boat, just being yourself and being true to your nature, it resonates with other human beings. They love to be around it. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, because I have a very, very authentic nature about me and the way that I conduct my stream. It works. It's successful. People love it. And you go quickly switch over to the other side there, right? And going into streams and talking about them gifting you is insane. Talking about gifting at all when you're entering a stream for the first time, I think, is really just poor etiquette.
I've seen that happen a lot on streams.
Yeah,
People just
I don't
talking
know,
about.
man. It doesn't turn my
I've
fancy, not at
I've
all.
seen a lot of box badges do it recently too. Like, you want some don't don't talk about diamond trading with your boss badge in their in
Whoa,
boss
whoa,
badges
whoa. Okay,
live.
hold on. So boss badges are going into stream saying, "Come and
No, no,
gift me."
no, 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 no. Boss badges are in their live having people in their box diamond trading, spinning wheels in the boxes, and and doing the dice gambling thing.
Oh, but that's been happening for forever. It's been
Right.
happening the
But I
whole
mean,
time I've been on here.
you wanted some don'ts, but there you go.
That's definitely a don't.
Like,
Be
I don't
authentic in
know.
your gifting. Be authentic in your gifting.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know, like
Not gonna name any names, but yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Well, you know how I usually roll it, man. Is there anything that you wanna talk about real quick? Anything, any tips, advice, anything that you could say to the viewers in here right now?
Um, I think we covered it mostly. Just be yourself. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest tip. You're gonna get more
It doesn't
people.
have to be etiquette related. It could be anything.
Oh,
I do, how I
at
do that
all.
at the end of each segment. So
Like in the streaming world in general.
yeah, yeah, man. Things that, for
Like plugging
success.
myself.
Jiffy.
Sure. I got a new streamer auction going on. Well, it's not me. It's Bunny. It's hosting it. I'm a co-host. We got some slots left if anybody's interested in being in it. It's on May 17th. It's during Live Fest. It's a Live Fest auction. So that's about it. Really going on. I don't need any flyers done. Hit me up. Um,
This guy is, I'd say he's the biggest admin on the app, guys, when it comes to featured shows and, flyering, all that kind of different stuff, man. Getting yourself and getting your name out there. This guy's the most connected on here.
Yeah, message
So
me, Cornbread. I got you.
please make sure you guys hit him up with a favorite. As always, man, it's always a pleasure to get you up in here and get your expertise and
Yeah, you
your
know I'm always
experience.
available when you need me.
I appreciate
I'm still here, and I lost audio. You see me, real deal? Yeah, we can't hear you either. Ah, well, this is Streaming 101 every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Uh, Please favorite Real Deal. If you would like to be on the show, contact Beard Reader, myself, or Real Deal. Um,
absolutely Beard Raider as well, Masterpiece, um, Queen Vibrator, or Lucky Mama. Those are my admins. They all have
I
Instagram,
can't
so make
remember
sure.
everybody. I can barely remember
Yeah,
my own
there's
name.
we got a few, so you can hit them up on IG. Again, bro, I appreciate you being
Yeah,
through, man.
for sure. Absolutely.
And
I have nothing else to say if you want to X me out because I'm just twiddling my thumbs at this point.
all right,
Cricket.
I got you, brother. Hey, man, take it easy. Always insightful to have Jay and have him hear him what he has to say. So now we're gonna get our next guest up in here. It's a good friend of mine, man. I've known this man for a lot of my journey on here, and I know he's got some experience. He's seen his fair share of people and how they act, both on both sides, good and bad. Lumby, whenever you're ready, man, you can hop up in the box really, really fast. Welcome everybody that might be new. This is Streaming 101. I'm your host, Real Deal, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight we're talking about streamer etiquette. I just had Emoji J in the box. We're getting Lumby up here. Feel free if you'd like to be a guest on the show or reach out to Emoji J, Beard Raider, Masterpiece, Queen Vibrator, Lucky Mama, or myself. And without further ado, let's get Lumby into the box. Really quick, too, guys, I do see you coming in. If I'm not acknowledging you, it's not that I don't see you. I appreciate you guys being here. We're just doing our thing here for Streaming 101 for the hour. But I will make some call outs at the end of the show. How you doing, man?
Bless, man. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good.
Tired.
It's been a few minutes.
Yes.
Hey, it's good to see you, man.
I appreciate it, man. Same likewise.
Absolutely.
Them long hours, they ain't no joke.
That part. Why don't we start off with you introducing yourself and telling everybody where you're, like, when they can catch you, if you have any events popping off.
Okay. So my name is Lumbee. I am getting back now to getting ready to start streaming daily in the evenings. Um, Usually I would say probably between 6 and 7 I'll get started and try to go to at least 9, maybe 9:30ish, because I do work crazy hours. So um I've got a auction coming up on that I'm hosting on June the 6th. It's a summer wipeout thing. And then I'm also doing a Oreo challenge on the Saturday right before Father's Day the following weekend.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So you've been around here for on these streets for a while. You got your fair share of experience on here.
The end of the month will be 19 months.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've seen all the highs and lows, as they say.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
Same. Same. It's been a crazy ride for me too.
That's right.
Um I know, like, I've obviously been in your stream, man, and I've seen how you stream a little bit, and I know that you kind of like to venture into random battles and, battle with your friends and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, we're talking about etiquette obviously tonight, right? Streamer etiquette in
Obviously.
particular. So, going into versus, when you're going into a random verse, what do you think are some really good things? Like, what are some of the things that you do when you go into a verse and
I
you're battling?
always try to at least greet them, see how their day's going. because you never know if they're having a good day or if they just might need somebody to talk to, or, to vent to, or whatever the case is.
Mhm.
So, I try to, talk to them, and, if I see that their aura and everything's kind of negative, I just kind of ride that wave on out to the end.
Yeah.
At least, still try to talk to them, but, I've had a few that's been, kind of way over the moon, and I'll just, kind of sit there and twiddle my thumbs until that time runs up.
Yeah. But it's a sign of proper etiquette.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
like
I'm not
I
gonna sit there and like engage into their negative, comments and stuff like that because, like, I mean,
but you're
I work
still
with the
gonna you're
public.
still gonna you're still gonna remain true to who you are. You're gonna be proper. You're gonna ask how they are.
Oh
Try to
yeah,
figure out
definitely,
try to figure
absolutely.
out a method to kind of have a conversation for the 2.5 minutes that we got in those
Hmm.
randoms, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
I definitely agree. It's something that I do too. I always start off with a random battle with, "Hey, how you doing?" I think
I've
it's
watched many of your randoms, and that's
yeah,
actually kind of the reason how I actually learned to start doing randoms is kind of, watching you and watching, a lot of other top streamers. So, I've learned a lot.
well, that's what we're here for. We're here to the experience factor is very broad. So
Hmm.
we obviously want to experience some entertainment, and we want
Absolutely.
to. I think as streamers, we want to be able to provide that entertainment, right?
That's right.
So finding the happy medium and finding something and or things that entertain your people or the
Yes.
people that are coming in,
Absolutely.
right? Definitely
That's right.
something. Etiquette definitely stands at the top of that. I think, especially when you're dealing with new people and in the
That's right.
versus section, man. Showing somebody that just like a quick second of care and humanity. You know,
Hmm.
it
Absolutely.
goes a hell of a long way. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Just it'd be very, very detrimental, I feel, to streamers when they
Oh yeah.
see negative interactions and they see it being sparked from whoever's
That
sparking
part.
it, right? And I think that can be detrimental for those people that act like that. I don't see any value in it either. I like, where's the value in starting off a conversation, being a not nice person to somebody else? It's probably going to get
You
me
know,
into a negative interaction.
I've
I'm
seen
gonna,
some crazy start offs when it comes to a random though. I ain't even gonna lie.
yep, absolutely. And then
I
all
mean,
those
like
and all
literally, I
those
was doing a
crazy
random one night.
all those crazy start offs though. Did you ever see one where proper etiquette was like right there at the front
I've
run,
seen quite a few that's been the proper etiquette's been right off the bat.
and then it just goes sideways?
Hmm.
Well,
I was, just an example. I was doing one probably a couple months back, and the guy was really cool. You know what I'm saying? He was like, getting all into it, greeting and everything. And then all of a sudden, you saw the law put him on the ground. I'm like, whoa, that went left quick.
and that was on stream.
Yes.
That is insane.
So I was like, well, I guess his day just got ruined. So
Yeah, that's insanity right there. Not very good. Not very good etiquette.
no, not at all. I mean, he was a nice guy, but I mean, I
Well,
guess he wrong place, wrong time, doing something. I don't know.
that part. That part.
I just, like I told my stream, that is just, shows you what you don't want to do when you stream.
Again, that part. And that's kind of like what we're talking about here. I think that I continue to say it. Etiquette has a huge part to play in how streams
Oh
are
yeah,
looked
definitely.
at and how they're operated, right? And me myself, I find that just a little bit of common courtesy, which you know has a
Goes a long
definition.
way.
It goes along with etiquette. It
That's
it,
right.
go, it goes along with it, right? And I find that just having a little bit of that, it really does. It goes a long way, and it makes people feel safe.
Hmm.
When going into a new stream or into a random battle, that factor of unknown is there, right? And
Exactly.
yeah, and I feel like a lot of humans they veer away from the unknown. Most
Hmm.
most actually do.
Exactly.
But if you know, hey man, this person's gonna greet me, it's gonna be a nice atmosphere in there. They're gonna have fun. We're gonna do battles. We're gonna interact.
Hmm.
That's gonna be a place that you're gonna want to go and hang out in.
Yeah, you'll definitely go back.
Yeah. For me, it's like it's all about engagement. It's about how the streamer engages with me, and it's about how the streamer engages with my mind, how they keep my attention. If they keep my attention span, then and they're cordial people, they're respectful, like they have proper etiquette, I'm probably going to stick around.
Oh yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
I
yeah,
mean,
I'm
you
gonna
and I are kind
support
of a
that.
lot alike. I'll definitely go in there, new streamer or something, or somebody that I've just seen for the first time. They could have been on there for, the whole time I've been on and never come across them.
Hmm.
I might say hi, just so you know I'm there, and then I'll just kind of sit in the shadows and just kind of watch, kind of see if there's anybody that I've known that comes in there, stuff like that. I kind of do the same thing.
Yeah,
Like I've even had people just came in and done that to me. I had a couple people ask me, "Hey, do you favor faith?" And I mean, it's free. The favor is free,
mhm.
but I mean, and it's like I told a lot of people, what's the point of giving a favor if you're gonna take it right back? I mean, there's
Yeah, some
reasons
people
that
will
you
say they
should.
favor it. Some people will be like, "Oh, I favored you," and then they don't even like they don't push the button.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And so,
like I get that. I think favoriting favoriting somebody also can be like a sign of connection too, right? Like, oh,
hmm
we've had a good conversation. I'll favorite you. Hopefully, we meet again.
exactly.
Like that. Like
Even if
there's
it ain't
that
never in a
aspect of
battle.
it. There is that aspect of it. Now, I will say this. I will say that a lot of people say that it's poor streamer etiquette to fave somebody and then not ever go into their stream. That's poor etiquette.
I would say it is because I mean,
I
I've
agree.
had
I
numerous
agree.
people that I faved, but I'll go back and visit them.
I
But like
agree.
I'll sit there and I'll see that they fade back, but I've never seen them still to this day.
But I will say, as a streamer that has a lot of people around me, it becomes increasingly difficult to maintain everywhere and to be everywhere.
Yeah,
I can't.
exactly.
I'm one person, so I can be so many places at once. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, even if you're running multiple devices, you still can't hit everybody.
That's it. That's it. I run two devices when I'm on here. Yep. Say like I'm at 13,000 favorites, and it's I can only do so much. Really, really quick. Welcome to Streaming 101, guys. I'm your host, Real Deal, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight we've got Lumbee in the box here. We had Emoji J earlier. We were talking about streamer etiquette. Please make sure that you favorite the guests. Also, make sure that if you want to be a guest on the show, that you reach out to Emoji J there, Beard Raider, Masterpiece, Vibrator, or Lucky Mama, or myself. We all have IG. Mine's linked in my bio as well. So we've run over a few different areas. You have been around since 1953, sir, so that makes sense. Um, we've covered a few different areas
Hmm.
of etiquette and going into other streams. Um, yeah, going into verse, going into verses, date box. How about gifting? How about gifting etiquette?
I try to give genuinely without any expectations back.
I think it's the best way.
I've had a lot of people come in and or send me a message in my DMs. Can you help me do this challenge? That to me is improper etiquette.
Yeah. Challenges, like I think that if it's established, You know what I mean? If it's something that's been established over time, you and the other said person have gone back and forth. Hey
I'm
man,
just saying, like a
sending a
new
message
person,
out. Hey
like a
man,
new streamer.
like sending a new person. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. There's somebody
and I mean,
that I've
I've seen that
established with.
numerous times.
I
Oh
probably
yeah, if
would.
it's somebody I'm established, I'll definitely consider it.
Yeah, and like there are things gift like, when it comes to gifting. Um, there's do's and there's don'ts.
Hmm.
There's things that will piss people right off, and there's things that like I think go a really long way. Me personally, I'll give you my do and my don't. My do is if there's any type of connection established on both sides of the screen, on both sides of the battle, gift both people. If you can do it, do it.
Hmm.
It just shows I think a level of equality, and I think that it shows people that they matter. You know what I mean? Oh, he's
That's
yeah.
right.
If I go into a battle with Lumbee and Emoji J and I only gift Emoji J, but I've known Lumbee for 2 years and I leave him on a donut, how do you think that that's going to make Lumbee feel? I don't think it's going to make Lumbee feel very good at all. How would that make you feel?
I'd feel a little bit scarred. I mean, I wouldn't hate
I
you, but
love
I
that.
mean, it
But it would
it would
sting,
kind of
right?
scar it.
It would
Yeah.
sting. Yeah, for sure, man. Like I think that it's good etiquette. If you know if you know the person on both sides and you're able to do it, you're not going out of your means.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you can't afford to gift, don't gift. I think I'm gonna say that every single show. Every show that we do, Streaming 101, we're gonna say it at least once. If you can't afford to gift, don't gift. But if you can afford to do it, gift on both sides.
Yeah.
The my don't is do not cross snipe. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's so many people get absolutely irate. Irate. Now, some people don't get irate, they just kick you out of the stream.
Hmm.
And some people, they don't care at all and they let you do whatever you want to do. I'd be one of those people. I have the mentality, who am I to tell you what to do with your diamonds, with your
That part.
time spent on this app, with your energy spent on this app to acquire diamonds? Who am I to tell you what to do with how to spend that and how like what to do? There's just I don't feel that it's appropriate, so I don't do it.
Absolutely correct.
So I feel like you know cross night like for me personally, I don't care. And my mainstead people, the people that come around me, they know that. They know I don't care. But that boils back to my etiquette, right? Do you see how that like it goes back to it?
Hmm.
That's my etiquette in my day-to-day life. I would never tell my friend, hey man, you need to buy that, and that. And if you don't, there's gonna be hell to pay. Okay, I
Or
would
you're
never do
done with them.
or yeah, right. I would never do that. So coming into an atmosphere like this, I'm not gonna change up. You know what I mean? It's just a sign of etiquette. And I see this in people. I see it in a lot of people. But then
Hmm.
I see signs of a lack of etiquette in a lot of people too. And I feel like if there was more etiquette on this app, there would be less negativity on here, and this place would be a lot more.
Absolutely.
It would be a lot more fun for a lot more people. I have fun on here. I can't lie, but that's because I choose to ignore that energy. Not everybody is
I mean,
mentally
that's what this app
capable
is
to do that.
supposed to be for, is to have a good time. Escape
It
your
is.
day-to-day reality.
Yep. Big facts. Well, you've been on here like 19 months now, right?
And in this month, it'll be 19 months.
Okay. So usually at the end of each guest segment, I go into like just kind of like an all around. That it doesn't have to be the topic related that we're talking to tonight. But if there's anything that you could give advice for, any types of tips or anything like that whatsoever, what would you
What
like to tell the people?
I would definitely say be polite. And if you got time, check on your friends.
That part.
That's
I
the
like that.
biggest things that that's the biggest things that I try to tell a lot of people, even if they're somebody that I've just met and they ask me, what is one thing that you could give me that would can possibly help me? Be polite to whoever comes in because you never know who they are, what they got going on, what they've been through that day, and the slightest thing can trigger a person to do something that they might regret later.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen somebody or heard from them a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, whatever, check on them. You never know exactly, you know, they could be, incarcerated in the hospital,
Hmm.
anything.
That part.
You never know what's going on with them.
Life happens, right?
That's right.
Yep. And again,
I
hey,
mean, I got
checking
people that check on me daily.
checking up on friends and stuff like that. That what does that boil back to? Good etiquette.
Etiquette.
Having good
That's it.
etiquette. I agree. As always, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on here, bro.
Hey, man, it's like a
Any
brother.
anything that I'm doing on the app, whether it's my show or events or anything like that, it's always a pleasure to have you around, man.
But likewise, man, I appreciate you a lot.
I appreciate you too. We are coming to the end of Streaming 101, guys. Please make sure that you favorite my guest here, Lumbee. Jay's down there in the chat. Make sure you hit him up with a favorite as well. Every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I did a wellness check twice.
Twice.
Yeah, and that there's just, checking out and on friends or family or like that's just a sign of a good human. And I think that good etiquette is a sign of good human too, a good human too. That's a wrap. Stream 101 is over. We're gonna be taking the next couple of weeks off because I got some events popping off, and I want to kind of do a little bit of a revamp. I'm gonna go over some stuff with my admins. So the next couple of weeks we're gonna be hiatusing. We'll be back in a few weeks, stronger and better than ever. I appreciate all you guys too, because without all you guys, like this stuff doesn't happen, right? Just quickly do this. Jay, you can end the recording whenever you're ready. I feel like we're gonna load up something tonight. I feel like it's gonna happen, and I'm excited. I hope you guys enjoy the show, and I hope that it's resourceful and knowledgeable for you guys, and that you guys are learning stuff. Because that, at the end of the day, is why I do it. I do it for you guys. Sorry, guys. We're gonna get some drinks going here in a minute. What the fuck? Huh. It's interesting. It's not letting me log into here. Okay, like, why aren't you letting me log in? What the fuck? Who has? Okay, fuck that. All right, I want to grab a drink. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a couple, actually.